Hi, it's Tom from Digital Foundry.
And it's Dave here.
So, this is Xenoblade, one of the biggest Wii games and also a release on the new 3DS. It's a massive open world game with no loading times between each area, all seamless, and really shows off what each console can do. But we wondered just how do the new 3DS and Wii versions stack up to each other? Something we can now finally put to the test thanks to 3DS footage provided by fellow YouTuber Tillman Domination. Now, Xenoblade 3DS is unique in that it's one of a handful of titles to be built uniquely for new 3DS specs, where the extra processing power and RAM are a must. Older models can't play it, and to replicate the huge world Monolith Soft achieved on Wii, the hardware comes surprisingly close to the console experience. That being said, some things don't come for free and there are changes, but the question is, on the smaller screen, do they matter?
Yeah, the first thing I've noticed is the resolution difference.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty huge. I mean, we're going from the 240 by 400 native resolution on the top screen of the new 3DS, and that's being compared to the 640 by 480 on Wii. Now, these are both upscaled to 1080p for parity in terms of viewing on YouTube, and the artifacting on the 3DS image is pretty obvious when it's upscaled like this, but to be honest, it doesn't really show up too badly when you view it on the original handheld.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that. I found the same thing when comparing PlayStation Vita and PS3 games.
Oh yeah, you did a whole bunch of those.
I found that when you view things on a small screen, the lower resolution doesn't really matter so much because it's being 1-to-1 pixel mapped, and it looks pretty sharp when you're sort of talking about a 3-4 inch screen.
And it also mitigates some of the downgrades you see elsewhere in the game, because obviously on Vita you saw a lot of changes between the PS3 versions and the Vita release. Obviously they have to downgrade textures and some effects, that sort of thing. And it's the same case for Xenoblade, I'm afraid, but the question is, does it really matter? And I'd argue no, because there are texture differences when we blow it up to this size, but really at that scale with the smaller screen you're really not going to catch it by eye. And the same goes for sort of geometry, where we see practically identical assets between the two versions. They've kept pretty much everything as is on this front, and the main difference is in textures otherwise.
One of the things I've noticed in the video here is that we see like difference in level of detail sort of streaming. There's certain objects in the background like a grass or foliage that is removed on the 3DS. How obvious is that to see on the small screen?
Well, firstly, it's not obvious in the first place, even blowing up like this, and when you minimize it to the new 3DS screen size, it's pretty much invisible. It's mainly noticeable around the Colony 9 hub area, the sort of main city of the game, but outside of that I wouldn't have said it's a big issue at all.
Judging by what we've seen so far, it looks like the developer have been quite smart in paring back elements that might actually not be that noticeable during gameplay.
It's pretty much the same for the effects in the game. Towards the end of this comparison, we're showing a lot of the prologue mission where they go all out on alpha effects and particles, that sort of thing. And the general look of it is pretty much identical to how it is on Wii. It's really surprising. We kind of expected a downgrade here given the weaker GPU processing power on the new 3DS, but actually it comes out pretty much intact, so very impressive showing overall. Anyway, I think that about wraps it up. We have more new 3DS footage to show off in our other recent videos, such as Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, and also a comparison of new and old 3DS running Hyrule Warriors. So please give those a look if you fancy more 3DS goodness. Anyway, like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and until next time, thanks for watching.